Hey, it's Allison here with A Taste of Therapy, where every week I'm making recipes to help you feel good. Not only do they taste amazing, but I'm mixing in some mindset techniques to help you have the best day ever. Today, I'm making black bean brownies, and trust me, when you make these, you will have the best day ever. I can't wait to share this recipe with you. So I made these brownies earlier in the week because I wanted to recipe test them, and I have to tell you, I literally ate the entire pan. Like, no joke. They are so good. And they're gluten-free. And if you don't use honey, guess what? They're vegan. I know, I can't even handle it. They're so good. My kids ate them, thought they were delicious. My husband ate them and thought they were delicious, and he considers himself a brownie connoisseur. So I can't wait to share this recipe with you because I think you can fool even the biggest brownie critics you have in your life, and they'll be eating healthy brownies and not even know it. I mean, what's not to love about that, right? And I just can't even. Who knew you could put black beans in a brownie? I didn't know.
Okay, so let's go over the ingredients. They are really simple. Here is my can of black beans, which I have rinsed and drained, literally just one can of beans. It's gonna call for 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. It's gonna call for 1/4 cup of unsweetened applesauce, 1/3 cup of honey, or you can use agave, or you can use maple syrup. Really use whatever you want. I had honey, so that's what I'm using. Dark chocolate chips, and 1/2 cup of oats. And here I'm using gluten-free oats, but you can use whatever you want. It also has some vanilla in there, and that's it. That's all of the ingredients that go into these brownies.
And really what you do is you are going to literally put these all together into a food processor. I suggest actually leaving out the chocolate chips. So put everything into the food processor minus the chocolate chips, mix it up until you get a paste, and then you can fold the chocolate chips into it. It calls for 2/3 cup of chocolate chips, but you can really put as many in as you want. So just put as many in as you want. Do a full cup. I won't tell anyone. So I'm gonna mix all this up in my food processor and show you what the dough looks like after it's done. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, you actually have to also throw in 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Sorry, I forgot to tell you that. And 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And let me show you something that I actually do because I think that this is important. I'm actually using a really small food processor. It's the one that I used when I made my kids baby food. So it's really small. So what I did was I mixed all the ingredients into a larger bowl, and then I'm gonna put it in the food processor into small little batches so it all mixes up together. But if you have a big food processor, you don't have to do that step. All right, I'm gonna mix all this up and I'm gonna show you what it looks like.
All right, here's my batter. I have poured it into a 9x9 brownie pan. As you can see, I sprayed it with a little bit of that baking spray. But look at this, can you see this? Now what I'm in here is the batter. It looks like brownie batter, doesn't it? It's crazy, I know. Here are my chocolate chips. So literally what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, be real fancy here and just throw them in. And then I'm gonna put the extra amount of batter on top, which I can't do while I'm holding the phone, so let me put this down real quick.
Here is my product. I'm gonna go pop it in the oven at 350 for about 15 minutes until they get nice and cooked through. Okay, so while these brownies are cooking for the next 15 minutes in the oven, you have plenty of time to practice my mindset tip for today, which will help you have a happy day, okay? So here's my tip. I want you to remember this, that you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. This is one of my favorite little tips here. Now, I don't mean your kids, sorry, because unless you have grown kids, then they would count. But if you have like little kids, like I do, they don't count. So I want you to think of the 5 people that you spend the most time with, whether it's your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your parents, friends, like who do you associate with, right? And why is this important, right? You're thinking, okay, Allison, I get it. Why is this important? Because if they are high vibe, happy, healthy people, fantastic. They're gonna help you be more happy, healthy, and high vibe, right? But if they are not happy and healthy and high vibe, if they are people that are not supportive of you, if they are very negative, if they are very judgmental, you might want to reconsider. You might want to think about spending your precious time with 5 different people who are going to help you be the best version of yourself. This is something that I've learned a few months ago, and I started really thinking about it, and I was like, wow, who do I spend the most time with? And I want to make sure that for myself, I'm surrounding myself with people who are high vibe, who are helping me, who are supportive, because we are all in this together and we all need those people that are supportive. So during these 15 minutes, think about those people. Who are the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? And then there's no judgment. If you're not loving the 5 people you spend time with, that's okay. Why don't you consider and think about 5 different people you can spend more time with? And then think about adding them into your weekly schedule.
And voila, here are the finished brownies. Don't they look amazing? So I baked them in the oven at 350 for about 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna let them cool in the pan for about 10 more minutes or so. And then I'm gonna slice them up and eat them and eat the entire pan.
And there you have it. This is seriously the best brownie ever. And I'm not even joking. I cannot wait for you to make these brownies. You're gonna love it. And remember, make them and don't tell anybody that there's black beans in them. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. I'm so glad that you were here. If you liked this episode, please remember to give me a like and subscribe to my channel so you're not gonna miss any of these yummy recipes. And I'll see you next time. Bye. I mean, seriously, these brownies will last, a week in the fridge, but they're not gonna last longer than the afternoon. See you later.